Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sherry. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you very much. So today we have a lot of things, but for me a lot of things, for you not. I've been kind of dreading it, to be honest. It's just repots. I've got some repots I need to do on my Monsteras, and I also am going to open up a package that I got. Where did I get it? Houseplant Essentials. I bought new moss poles, bigger moss poles, and I thought I'd try them because I've heard fern use them before, and they have front moss pole openings, and really that's all I want. I don't want moss poles that do not open in the front, at least right now, as I'm starting to get into them. I have two already. A philodendron, a small philodendron, both of them are pretty small. SP Columbia and a philodendron Patriciae. So the Patriciae is starting to, I had to fill the moss pole all the way up to the pole, and the roots have already gone crazy in there. So I'm gonna add that to my list of things I need to do. But this was the first thing I needed, and that was bigger ones. So let's go ahead and open them and see what we have. Ooh. Okay, well, it just, surprise! That's what we got. Wow. Thank you for your support. Visit our website for 15% off your next order. Nice. Okay. So these must be the smaller ones. So I got medium and I got large. So this is the medium, which honestly, I don't think that's too much larger than what I've got on the thicklies. So that's that. And the way they're supposed to work is a D shape. So you put your moss in and then they go this way and you clamp them in. So what I like about them is that they're thinner than the thickly and longer, which is important. Let me go get one of my plants and I'll show it to you. All right, so this is my philodendron Patriciae, and this is my new leaf that's growing out. But you see how the thickly is? It's kind of hard to tell here, but I have these unclasped because they're so thick that they're so thick that you can't, first of all, you don't want your, I personally do not want my plant growing over top those thick clasp into the pole. I want it growing into the pole. So what I've done here is I unclasp where needed so it has room to grow in. And I'll do that all the way up. But you can tell, look at the difference. So you see that there's a big difference between the two poles. And then, so I think that it's probably the same size, maybe a tad taller than this one. Because this is all the way into the pot. But yeah, so this is doing really well. You see where I've upfilled it from here and up, but you should be able to see there's a root right here. It's looking for me. It's a root right there. It's beautiful. I love it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this plant grow. So then I got these tall ones, or the bigger, large ones. And then I think that's a good size for now. My plan will be is to stack them as it grows. So we'll see. So that's on the horizon. I just don't know when I'm going to do it. Doesn't really need it right now. But it's a lot closer than my small Columbia that I have. Ouch. These are sharp. My dogs are going to bark now. Aren't they nice? They're very nice. They see their friends outside. So yesterday, I spent most of my afternoon and evening, redoing my mic, or trying to learn how to set it and work with this phone and work with my other camera that I got, which was the Insta360 I used to use when I first started recording last year. But it's just difficult. The gimbal's so much better than not having a gimbal. So I really wanted to make this better. I wanted the coloring better. I wanted my voice to be better. And another thing, what really drove me to that is the whole thing with TikTok and the United States. What I didn't know is the software that I use to edit all of my videos is called CapCut, and I guess TikTok's company owns that. So I woke up one day thinking I'm going to edit, and I couldn't edit. It was just completely shut down. My pro membership, I had a pro membership for a year, nothing. So that was disturbing. So I said to myself, well, the reason it was disturbing, one, there's a lot of work. You've got to learn software to be able to do these videos. You've got to learn this mics, and you've got to learn to be able to edit. You've got to learn how to make your voice sound better in these softwares that you use. So it's always money, right? You can do free software, which I did download a couple of software to see if it was any good, but nothing it all paled to CapCut, of course. And so I decided that if I could get my mic to work well with my camera without having to depend on the software to do it, I'd be a lot more ahead of the game. So that is what I'm hoping we will find when I go to edit this one, is that I don't have to worry about that anymore. So we'll see. So anyways, yeah, so I've got a couple plants that I have to work on, and so if you've seen my videos, my Monstera behind me here, this is all that's left of her. She's growing now because I had to cut off all the leaves except the one, but now she's given me aeroids, and she's given me roots. Okay, which I'm really happy about. So I need to do something with her because she's very unstable in this pot of water and myco that I have her in. So I'm thinking of potting her into her children that I had kept, and we need to repot today because you see all of these down here. They're just, this is an 8-inch pot and it's just bursting at the seams. And I did the same thing with these guys when I cut them from her. It's just put them in water until they started getting their aeroids, and then I put them in my mix and they have just gone crazy. So I want to put this beauty. You see all the new, this is a brand new leaf right here. And then I have this little baby had a brand new leaf. And then this is a brand new leaf right here. So this, we have 3 new leaves in here, and I want to get this into a 10-inch pot. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm still thinking about this. I haven't decided for sure if I'm going to put her in a pot or not, because it's just starting to grow, the aeroid, and I'm a little concerned about putting her in a mix just yet, but we'll see. Oh, the other thing was my black velvet. So this is the newest leaf and the only leaf that I have on this plant. And I'll put in here the video that I unboxed this in. It only had, I believe, 3 leaves. It's never been a good plant. It's so slow at growing. I don't know if it's, well, it's not, the leaf looks fine, but it's not growing. This has been this way now for about 4 months. There's been no growth. And I want to get it out of the naked root planter. I don't know if it's the mix is too heavy, if I haven't given it enough water, if I've given it enough water. I don't know. So I want to take a look at this, and I want to repot it if it's healthy. If it's not healthy, I'm not keeping it. It's one of those plants that has frustrated me because it's not doing anything. And then there's no reason, in my mind, there's no reason to keep something when you have so many other things you have to do during your day. So yeah, we'll see about that. So that's another thing on my list. So I also wanted to pot 4 of my big plants, but I haven't decided yet if we're going to do that today. So let's see where we end up. I've got to figure out how I'm going to situate my workspace here. Yeah, this is crazy. Check this out. This is what I'm dealing with here, all surrounding me. Very unorganized. Very unorganized. Hey, what are you doing? But I don't know what else to do. I would love to have a spot where I could actually be organized and do this, but oh well. All right, so let's get her started. So this is what we're dealing with here. And what I figured is it's best to probably get it out now, even though I think that they could probably stay in here till the summer. But it's kind of pushing it. I just don't think that, I don't think I want to wait. So, and I actually want to see how they're doing in here. So I was going to put it in this 10-inch pot. So it's 10 by 10 and a half. And this is currently 8. So get my gloves. Oh, I want to show this to you. So I ended up getting this soldering iron, and I want to do a video on trying this on the pots. So before I put the queen and some of my other anthurium in their next pot, I want to test this out and put slits in a smaller pot to see if I can do it and if it's going to work the way I think that it's going to work. These pots are great, but I don't think that they have enough air. I mean, if you look at this, this is the only place you have air is right here. It's in on the bottom. That's not enough. There's not enough air. So ideally is I'm going to try to put slice sections down the sides, but I don't know if it's strong enough to do the thicker pots like that. So, I mean, it was like $9.99 on Amazon, so I thought I'd give it a try and do a video of that when time comes. I really hate disturbing this plant. It's doing so well, but I don't like all those roots coming out the bottom. I was going to use this for my mix. Can you guys see this gimbal? That's the problem here. I need to make it higher, I think. I'm going to try making it higher. All right, let's see how that works. My goal here is not to get rid of what's the mix. My goal is just to get it out of this pot if I can. If I can, without losing all of that mix. It'd be great if I could just lift it out and plop it in. But that's not going to happen, guys. Let's squeeze it. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, I went to water it today, and I said, oh, I really need to repot this. I see some rotting. Is that rot? I can't tell. Oh, no, it's just a new growth down here. Gosh, look at this. I know I showed it to you, but look at that. It's just incredible. These things are amazing. I know I've said this, or at least alluded to it before. If you have a Monstera, don't chop it. Don't. It's not worth it. It's just not. I much prefer having my big Monstera back than what I'm dealing with now. I'm very sad that I chopped mine. And it went down to one thing here in the back. Okay, I don't know. Problem is my hands just aren't strong enough to do what they need to do here. I saw a, oh wow, that's a big root. I saw a funny, I think her name's Leafy Diva, it's her channel name, and she was doing this on her Monstera Thai, and I mean, I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard on a plant video before. I felt really bad for her. Now I'm kind of getting paid back here because this is really difficult. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out. And I can just dump it all, I guess. I'm just afraid I'm going to hurt it. I mean, it's in there tight. Wow. Okay. So. So much for saving the dirt, guys. This is no joke. I was thinking about putting her in my big glaze pot, but for me, I mean, yeah, it would be great, but I can't lift that. And I like being able to lift these plants out and put them in the shower if needed or on the deck. I can't lift these plants in there. Okay, this is not working. This is not working at all. The sucker's glued in here. Holy magnetoid. This is crazy. I don't know if I'm going to get it. This is like all roots, no dirt. Oh, it came off. It's eating my shovel. I don't want to hurt. I'm going to say I don't think I could hurt this thing. These are crazy roots. Yeah, this is mushy. I need to get rid of that one. It's growing up the side and up the top of this pot, guys. It definitely needs a big... I'm exhausted. Needs to get out of here ASAP. I wonder if I can just... I feel it moving. I have a feeling I'm going to lose a lot of roots. That's okay, it'll grow back. I mean, I thought I felt it move. I mean, it's just solid down here. How can something be so embedded in a pot? I'm getting there, I think. So all of these were in pieces when I put them in here together. You're gonna help me? Oh, I don't know if I can get it. I can't. I mean, these things.
So what am I doing?
Well, I don't want to rip them out. I just need to pull them out as much as and save it as much as possible.
Save it.
Well, you know, don't hurt it. Just if you can pull it. And don't knock my other plants over. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. I may be able to get the rest. Yeah. Thank you. Yay. Thank you, honey. Oh. Perfect. Perfect. All right, now let's see what we got here. Making a mess. It's made its own little root ball. Yeah. Looks good. Its aeroids are growing inside of itself. It's crazy. If you don't know where to go, you have to go somewhere. Yeah, some of these need to be cut off. Look at this. Squishy. Interesting. Just loosening up this root ball. Where it's real tight here. It's like a wall. One thing that I see here that I did originally is when I planted it, I put them down too far and they just got too much moisture. I feel like too far down. I mean, they're fine. They're fine, but I really don't think I want these ties in here with this anymore, but because none of them have any growth going on, and this other one is growing actively, you know, so it's like, do I want to have all of those? I don't know. But I don't want to hurt the plant if they're all tied together. So I think what I'm going to do is just simply, yeah. So the biggest one, I know you guys can't see, I'm sorry, but the biggest one here is it growing a leaf. It's already starting to grow a leaf. So I don't want to do too much here. Oh, I think that's a little late, but I want to just go ahead and I think I'm going to reuse this mix because there's nothing wrong with it. Get some of these out. Get some of these out of here, these roots. Although I don't really think that matters, honestly. It's just part of it. You don't want the rod, I know. Let's see here. It's not a whole heck of a lot, but there's enough. So I watched a couple videos this morning when I got up. And Unplant Parenthood had a great one, as usual. And she made me start thinking about when I do my video. And she did a couple of Reddit posts, and where people say you have to do certain things for your plants, like you can't, like one of them was you can't fertilize during the winter. You shouldn't fertilize during the winter. And I was like, it is amazing to me. So I'm officially a little over a year in now with my experience with aeroids. I have been a plant person on and off since 2015. And I would say that my knowledge, I really didn't glean anything really until this time around when I started buying cactuses, which I think that started in like 2021. I think it was before COVID. Yeah, it was before COVID. So I don't know. I don't remember when I started, but so I really started getting into them. And, I have some videos out there with about lithops and what I gleaned and what I learned about lithops. And it comes right down to this, guys, that there are no rules. They're suggestions. And I completely, 100% equivocally support what Charmaine said in her video. And I'm not a teacher, and I've always told you guys that. I'm not a teacher. I'm just here to show you as I go, right? This is simply a watch for you, and this is simply a thing for me to do for myself, right? Something I really enjoy. And my leg's asleep. That's why I'm sitting this way. And so it's important that if you're new and you're listening to this, learn your own thing about your plants. Take what I say, take what everybody says with a grain of salt, because just take it and absorb it in your mind, because it won't always apply to you. And what works for me may not work for you. And that's a big thing. We're like, oh my gosh, guys, when I collected lithops, and I said this in my video, I was so frustrated with people on Reddit because they would literally make people feel like they don't know what they're talking about. And they'd have these big arguments with new people coming in saying, hey, I just bought this lithop. Look how pretty it is. And then they'd go off on them because they hadn't, oh, you need to get it out of that mix. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I get that. And I get that. I mean, that's fine, but I just don't like it when people yell at people. This is just a hobby, folks. I'm not being paid for this. And when I want to share my plants, I want to share my plants. I don't want to be yelled at. I don't want to be criticized. That's just not cool. So yeah, her video really just hit home with me, and I thought, that's kind of something I could bring up. I'm not real chatty. This is kind of awkward for me. I feel like I may be getting better, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, like with my lithops, I did everything against the rules, and my lithops were perfect. I had a few die, mostly dry rot, but those things were glorious. The only reason I ended up getting rid of them is because that's where the fungus gnats just like lived and loved being in. I was like, I can't keep these around because they're loaded with water, and those fungus gnats loved them. So that's the only reason I don't have them anymore. And but other than that, I mean, like they say, you can't, don't water your lithops. Don't water your lithops from the end, their flower until spring. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, not going to happen. I had beautiful little lithops, and they flowered, and I watered them like I always did. And people have to remember the rules are all based off whoever's telling you about the plant. So yeah, if a nursery who lives in Arizona is telling you not to overwater or water a certain time, and you live in the same spot, and you live outdoors and your lithops are outdoors, then yeah, then you'll probably want to follow their advice. But when you live in Ohio and you have it, all your plants are indoors, and the only way they're going to get their nutrients is in a pot by me helping it, it's not the same. It's not the same. So it's just something else to think about. So don't get caught up on these places that tell you you're doing it wrong, or you have to do it this way and you have to do it that way, or you have to use humidity. No humidity. None. I was down to 18% and we had sub-zero temperatures 2 weeks ago. And I haven't lost a plant. None of my, I mean, they're not, the new leaves aren't spectacular. I have one that's spectacular, and that's the Queen of Hearts. Oh, and the queen of all the plants that came out with a new leaf is the queen, and her leaf is perfect. Has just a little bit, as they always do, a little bit of a thing, but it's perfect. Maybe I'll show you here when we're done. She's not fully out yet, but I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what else does. You just have to do what you have to do in your own environment. I think this will be a great mix, guys. A lot of this was at the bottom, you know, like all that big chunks of perlite were at the bottom of the pot. So yeah, this will be perfect. I was gonna actually prepare a mix like this, so this works out well. So what I'm going to do here is put these nasty little rotten roots down below. I have my mat here, so I'm glad I decided to get it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm using this too. This is a brand new, I made this up in our last video. I knew I was going to need it here eventually, so I've got that. I'm going to put leca at the bottom, I think. So this is what we're going to. The holes aren't real big, obviously, like I've said. And I really would have loved to have done the whole bit, like what I call it, soldering iron, but I didn't think about it. I just didn't think about it. So, but it'll be fine. I was thinking, so let's look at this. I think this plant is too big. I think he's too big, or, you know, eventually will be too big to share the same pot. So I don't think I'm going to put him in with this. I'm so happy to see growth on this, guys. I had to chop off the other two big leaves. I watched Kevin on, I don't remember his channel's name, but he's like, you got to chop the leaves, guys, if you want growth. And so I did. I chopped both leaves, and I could not chop this leaf. I thought, if I chop this thing's going in the garbage. I'm sorry, it just will. I don't want to start over again. I already have that with this one that we're working on. So, yeah. So I don't think, it's definitely not going in with this. I think I am gonna pot it up into a better system here. I don't know. It's really difficult because I don't have a vase, a tall vase, and I really should have bought a tall vase for it. but I didn't know how, it's so wide at the bottom, it would probably be flopping around in it too. So I don't know. I might just keep it in that for now. It's doing well. Why change it? What was I? Oh, I was going to get my... So I went to my doctor's this week, past week, to do my wellness check. And I got all my blood work. And of course, I got weighed. And it's never pleasant getting on the scale at the doctor's, is it? No. This is going to be loud, so hold your ears. So I gained 4 pounds, which I knew I had already gained. And my A1C was up, which was surprising. It was up to 6.8, which is where I was 2 years ago. And that's going to happen when you gain weight. I know that. The more weight you have, the more your body's burning, your liver's burning, and all the fat. So, and that goes into your bloodstream. So why am I telling you that? Well, I don't know. I guess something to talk about. But I am going to really try to get that weight off. Back in 2007, I started Nutrisystem. I'm 6'3". It's really 6'2.5", but I started Nutrisystem because I knew it worked. And I decided, I told my husband, I want to be able to live till I'm past 52. And at the rate that I was going health-wise, I really didn't know if I would. I was extremely sick from my type 1 and all the chronic disabilities that come with it. I was in a wheelchair a lot of the time, and I just needed a way. I needed to fight. So I joined Nutrisystem, and I lost 78 pounds, and I have kept it off since. Now, it took me a year. It took me 9 months to lose it. It took me about additional 6 months to get down to where I went really low. Then my body came back and kind of fluctuated where I had been. And then I pretty much stayed that weight since. I've been maintaining my weight loss since. Now, that doesn't mean your A1C is great. It's better than what it was before I lost my weight. But I really have had to work hard to get that A1C together. So I need to lose 14 pounds. And I know and that'll make me happy. It'll make my body happy. And then it may not do anything with my A1C, but at least I'm back down to where I need to be. So I'm going to really try with that. And the other thing is I talked to him about the pain that I've been having in my joints. It's just incredible amount of pain that I've been having. It's in my hands, and that's why it was my husband rescued me, because he knew I wouldn't be able to probably get that plant out. My hands just they just hurt all the time. My mom has arthritis. My doctor told me we all get osteoarthritis. There's no way really out of that. So maybe that's it. I don't know. He drew some blood up for me. I haven't heard back yet about that, so I don't know. I say all of that just because I'm just learning to open up a little bit with you guys. Nothing to worry about, I don't think. It's just I took 2 Advil before I started all this because I knew I was already in pain before I started. So I thought, well, I'm going to take 2 Advil and it'll help me get through this, and then maybe I can get up off this this floor and have a nice restful evening without too much pain if I take some Advil. So yeah. All right, so this is what I've done so far. Let's check out where we're at. I don't want this all the way down. I need the leaves to come out. So I think what I'm going to do is try to get it to about that part. But look at this guy. We need to face him down. We're going to have to really maneuver. I'm going to focus my attention on the big one, because all the outer ones, some of them won't ever have babies. Some will. They've already had some, like this one. But these ties aren't going to have anything. I still really wish I could cut them, I guess, but I don't want to do that because they do add to this plant. But I also know how big this plant's going to get if I don't. What do you guys think? You can't answer me. Yeah. So see, if I cut any, it'd be the ties. Like I said, they're not going to probably give me any love, any new leaves. I don't remember seeing a growth point. But that's all right. Maybe that's all right. I mean, as it grows, I may have to chop them off. But for now, it's okay, I guess, to keep them in there. These two have, so these two here, I think are together. So these two have potential to give me a leaf. I don't know that for sure, because I can't see it. Yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna put more stuff in there. Yeah, so I'll put up, I was on, before Nutrisystem, they didn't close, they're still open, but they shut down their website before. I was kind of like, we loved it. I've met my best friend through Nutrisystem. We still talk every day. She lives in Florida. And there's not a day go by usually that we don't say hi to each other. And I've met so many wonderful people there, and it was such a neat thing because you could just sit there and chat, kind of like Facebook. Before it was there was no Facebook back then. I don't think that there was. At least it just started out, I think, if anything. But it's when you have a community of people and like-mindedness, it makes everything so much easier. And that's really what I'm doing here. This is my one way, other than being in people's comments, is to also be part of the community. And you guys comment on mine. It's just kind of nice, you know. It just makes it a really nice, loving community. And sometimes we have trolls, which, yeah, I'm just going to delete you if you're a troll. So just so you know, I'm not going to deal with that. But sometimes there gets a little bit too much of kerfuffle. You know, people get too wrapped up in defending the channel or hurt feelings, and nobody wants to do that. I know I deleted one of my comments the other day because Raz said something very negative to one of the ladies I like to watch, and I responded, and I was like, no, this is not she's fine. She can handle it herself. You don't need to get involved. And so I ended up deleting it. And she, as usual, she handled it just fine. But, you know, you always want to defend the person that is being trolled. I mean, that's it. People out there just want to be nasty sometimes. Those people aren't welcome. They're just trolls. So, is this low enough or is it too low? I feel like this may be okay. Because I don't want this tall one to be way out of the bucket. This is so high, you guys probably don't need this. Oh. Or do you? Yeah, I think you probably do. But you see how high he is? I don't want him too high up. So, and this one is the one that's kind of ruling the roost at this moment in time. The rest of them are just going to have to deal with whatever we end up with. They've come along just fine so far. I don't think they're going to have any problems. I think that's good. I think that's good enough. I think it's down there far enough. This will give them so much more room. Will be very interesting to see where we are in the summertime. I mean, this thing is a monster. There's no doubt about that. Monsteras are a neat plant. I just wish so bad I could go back in time last summer when I decided I air layered her roots, but there wasn't enough roots to support those beautiful leaves. And I made a video of it so you guys can watch it if you're interested. But yeah, I won't buy another Monstera, I don't think, if this doesn't work. It's just a lot of plant that I don't really want to deal with, especially with my hands the way they're doing, you know, with the pain. I can't handle big plants. So my goal, I guess, is kind of changing in a way. And that is I need to keep my plants that I have reasonable, a reasonable size so I can still support them. Man, this aeroid that I told you it's kind of growing into itself. I can't get it out, so I hope it doesn't kill itself. I mean, it's so big, and it's like a hook, and it's buried itself into the root ball of this plant. It's crazy. I think I am. This tie is got a discolorant. I don't know if I want this one. Do I want this one, or is this one tied to the other? I feel like it's tied to the other. but it's the one, this is the older leaf. Well, for now, we'll just cut off this bad part. That's all it was. It's that size. Not bad. I need to make more dirt. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. I did look. You know how you can get your blood work ahead of time? I asked the AI about my blood work because he did like a lupus test for, I guess that's a good test to check for stuff. I don't know. And of course, it couldn't tell you what it is, but I think that nothing's gonna really probably show up, and this is just your typical after menopause life that you just have to live. And being as tall as I am, my dad's always said, you know, he's always says, Sissy, that was my nickname. Sissy, you grew so fast. You know, I was 6 foot when I was 12 years old. So I've only grown 2.5 inches my entire adult life. He says, you grew so fast that it's no wonder that you're in the kind of pain that you're in. So he may be onto something. I don't know. It's also my desk job too. I don't think that helps any. Sitting at a desk all day programming, yowzers. I've had multiple carpal tunnels, multiple tennis elbows, multiple severe neck issues I've had to get treated for. Last year was frozen shoulder syndrome in my left shoulder. It was awful. And now this year, I've got a foot problem going on from standing too long at the Orchid Festival in August that I diagnosed myself. It was plantar fasciitis, but now it's turned into something, I think, something else. And I have to go to a podiatrist to figure that out now. And yeah, that's about me, guys. That's me. That is me. But the good thing is I'm healthy. I can still work. I don't think I'm making enough. I don't think I'm making enough mix to fill the rest of that. I get around really well. I'm grateful for what I have. So very grateful. So I have finally bought my first 2025 plants. I told you in my ending video, my 1-year anniversary video, that my wish list plant was a King of Spades. Well, I wanted to wait until winter was over with. And that didn't work. The reason that didn't work is because first of all, I wanted a baby. Let me get some water here. I wanted a seedling. I didn't want a big plant. And this just goes back to my earlier conversation with you about how, as planty collectors, we learn things as we go. And even though I've heard people say you're better off buying a seedling instead of a big adult plant, I still wanted the big adult plant. I wanted that big adult plant, right? Well, I never really got a big adult plant except for my luxurians and the Monstera, and my Monstera Peru and my Scindapsus came. They were all pretty much fairly adults. I still got bigger mature plants that were not seedlings like these guys. And all that said is I had to go through a growing period, a long growing period to finally come to this realization that no matter what plant you bring home, like if you buy online, like I prefer to do, I prefer it because I can get my anthuriums that way. And I just think that they're nicer, a lot nicer than these stores here in Ohio. But when you bring them into your home, they have to go through so much to figure out what your home is and acclimate to the home. And there were so many times where I took it personally that 3 queens didn't make it because of my own. I got really frustrated. Yeah, I did. I got really frustrated, and 3 queens, Anthurium queens, didn't make it. I have one that is just, I knock on metal, is perfect. And she's doing great. And I got lucky with this one, but at the same time, I've learned so much thanks to other creators on here that do Anthurium, and I'm just so grateful for that. But I've learned that you have to, if you bring the adult home, they are so used to a certain way, and then they literally freak out when it's cold and they're not getting the light, or they're not in the sun every day. And they'll show you that. So, and as a new plant person, you think, oh my gosh, I'm killing it. No, you're probably not doing anything wrong. You're just probably not, as long as you give it what it needs, right? And that took a long time to learn. But if you bring a seedling home, and yeah, it's going to be hard, a little bit hard for it to adapt, but not too much, because you're going to put it in under a light. You're going to put it in a humidity box. If you don't, I do recommend that, by the way, just saying, okay? I finally learned after 8 months that mine aren't growing, and they weren't growing because they just needed that extra humidity. So just saying that, okay? You don't have to do it, but yeah. So put them in a humidity box here under a light, and they'll love you for it. So, and then as they start growing, you can take them out of there for a couple hours. Like I leave that open during the night, and they're fine. They're just fine. They're happy as little larks, and but at the same time they're growing. So I'm just and I just feel like that's the way I'm going to go from now on. So I was happy to find this seller. And they're in the United States. I almost bought from Cartel Down, and I just didn't feel comfortable, not with the nightmare we're living right now in the United States. I won't go into that, but you all know what I'm talking about. And so I'm just like, no, I'm not going to buy anything that's outside of the United States and import it. Just not. So when I saw on Etsy that he had one left, and it was cute, or, you know, it looked cute. I was like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to go ahead and get it. I bought the heat pack, hopefully. And then I also did an overnight. But so when he does ship it, I should at least get it overnight. So that'll be great. I'm going to put these big chunks in here. Not too much. Because now that we're up far, I don't really need that big chunky stuff. Yeah, so I was really excited to purchase it, and I just hope that I don't. I think the seedlings are harder than an adult plant. At least, oh my gosh! At least, oh my gosh! You guys! Oh no! All that powder. Look how all this powder. Oh my gosh. Well, thank goodness for vacuum cleaners. Some of it, most of it came on my pot down here, or not my pot, but my mat. That's all right. At least the mat got most of it. I can put most of this back in here. I'm afraid to move your camera because if I move it, I don't know if I'll get it back. Just imagine little big stones on your carpet. That's really all it looks like. Yeah, so the estimated date of arrival, I think, was like February 17th. So I know he has it in because he had a picture of it. I think he just prepares it. He mentioned that it takes time for him to prepare them, and then yeah, and then from there he'll ship it out. But I will probably do a video when I get it. And I also bought a cactus that I used to have and I always loved, and I don't know why I didn't keep the one that I had. Again, I get one of those moods, and then I regret it. So I bought a rainbow hedgehog, which I'm anxious to get. Oh, look at all this stuff. All right. Dump this in one of these non-wet containers. Oh, all that stinking powder. It's incredibly gross. So yeah, I got that from a seller I bought from before. I'm anxious about. A lot cheaper than the King of Spades, that's for sure. But so pretty. But that's it. That's all. Those are two things that I've been wanting, and I don't really have anything else at the moment that I feel like I have to have. I just hope that it survives the winter. If it does, the cactus I didn't do an overnight. So I did pay for the heat pack. It's coming from California, so my guess is I'll be lucky if it survives. I should have waited. I don't know why I didn't, but oh well. We'll see. I forgot to put my Myco in again. I was watching another YouTube planting channel the other day, and it cracked me up. She forgot multiple plants. I forgot my Myco. I think all of us go through this. I mean, forgetting Myco is like constant. It's crazy. I even have it over here. I'll just water it in. But honestly, they don't really need any. That thing is so hardy. Man, I made a mess. Okay. It's going to look nice, all separated out now. Get his aeroid pointing down this way. Okay, so this, yeah, move him over if I can. Yeah, I've been talking to my husband about, how I can be more comfortable or just on these videos. And so I'm really just going to give this talking bit a whirl, share a little bit about myself. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you and I forgot to tell you. So Nutrisystem, when they shut down the website, why they did it, I don't know why. They redid it. They wanted you to use an app for to log your meals, to log your weight, and none of us were interested in it. And they shut down all of the website where we all could communicate with each other, and it was really a bummer. So we all moved to Facebook, and I left Facebook back in 2015. I was like, this is garbage. I don't like this. It's too addicting, and I don't like what goes on out there. So I never did get another account. I don't today either, which is another reason why my channel doesn't grow, because the only place I really share anything about it is on Instagram. I don't have all those other accounts like the other creators do. And to be honest, that's not why I did this. I mean, I'd like to have more viewers, but c'est la vie. It'll happen if it happens. So I lost all that weight on Nutrisystem, and I was a type 1 diabetic. And Nutrisystem, obviously reads what you write because you're on their website, and they wanted my story. I never did, I always thought it'd be cool to be on TV and, to represent Nutrisystem because they did so much for me. But so before they shut down the website, they had me on and wrote, well, not me on, they wrote an article about me in their, I guess it was their online. I don't know if they ever put it on TV or not. They never told me. But, you know, I have that and I'll post it up here. I'm glad I saved it. It was just a screenshot of it, because now that the website's down, you can't get to it anymore, I don't think. But yeah, it tells my story, and I think it's encouraging for anybody. You don't have to have diabetes, but I know it's always encouraging to look back on what I did and just think to myself, wow, you've maintained your weight loss, give or take 14 pounds since 2008, 2009. It's incredible. A lot of prayer, but a lot of work, guys. Maintaining it is a lot harder than losing it, and losing it is not so fun. Obviously it's not, because I haven't been able to lose the 14 pounds I've gained. I gained 12 of it back 2 years ago. I can't get it off. All right, so there she is. I'm going to change my camera here a second. Oh, I got to get up. All right, so I moved you so we can back up a little bit. So this is what we've got. So I don't have it all the way filled up. She's a little top heavy. The two big ones are. So this is the brand new leaf here. And that's the one that attached to the other one that's pointing up, is kind of top heavy. I'm wondering if I need to add more. She should be fine. I don't know. Feel like that she's a little bit overly exposed. What do you guys think? Can you see? So what I'm thinking about is right here. You can see this is the one that has the leaf coming in. Not that one. It's actually this one right here, right there. That's the new leaf. I think I'm going to put more, dirt around it, and then we'll call it. While I have you here, look at this beauty. The orchid too, but look at the new leaf coming out now of the Pallidiflorum. I'm so pumped. She's finally taken off. Remember the last one? I potted this, I repotted her in this pot when this one was growing right here. And she ended up, she's not as tall as or long as she would have been, I don't think. If I hadn't had repotted her, but I wanted to show you that. And oh, also update on my fry deck. So I moved the fry deck from here, where these my other alocasias are. I moved them from here up here, and look at this. I've got a new leaf, but look at this. I've got more than 2 leaves, guys, more than 2 leaves. And I also noticed, look at the size, it's starting to size up down here. Note to self, I don't think Fridex like a whole heck of a lot of light. That's just what I'm seeing there. So I moved her up there and she's now pushing out this new leaf and plumping up. So we'll see. I am thinking of potting her too. I just didn't want to do it yet since her leaf's coming out. I want to get her out of the, this. This is the last, this will be the last pot that I have. Oh no, that's not true. Naked root planter, that's it. The last one will be this one. And like I've said before, this plant, which is my shirt, this leaf right here is on my shirt that I'm currently wearing. This thing is perfect, absolute perfect. No reason for me to change the pot because it's perfectly happy. It's perfectly happy, no problems at all. All right, so I'm back down now. Yeah, so here's my shirt, my original. So that's that leaf. Absolutely a remarkable plant. It's been trying to push out, I think, 2 flowers since the summer though. It's only given me 1 leaf since I've owned it now. It'll be a year in April. But yeah, I'm going to need to get out of that pot. I just don't think naked root planters they're definitely not for me. So, all right, now let's go ahead and do our last bit of soil here. I'm going to go ahead and make enough, or at least make extra, because I don't know what I'm going to do yet with the black velvet or the other Monstera. Making my nose itch. So how many of you actually turn on plant videos and do your chores? Or do you just watch plant videos while you're chilling at night or in the morning or in the afternoon? Let me know in the comments. I personally, I only watch them. I do not do anything while I don't do any plant chores with it. I like to listen to jazz music when I do my plant chores. Like right now I would have jazz on if I wasn't recording. And it's just so calming. I love that stuff, smooth jazz. My grandpa, my mom's mom, played in a jazz band, which I was too young to remember or appreciate. And my uncle has played also in a jazz band, and my grandpa played a sax. And that's my choice instrument. I love hearing sax, smooth sax. I don't like crazy sax. I don't like, that could have sounded wrong. S-A-X, YouTube. I did not say the other word. S-A-X. Saxophone. And so, yeah, so I think there's only been one time where I was chopping my Michelle and I split the little plant from the big plant, and I chopped the queen, my original queen, and And I was watching Fern, I think. And that was the only time that I had that on playing when I did that. And I think it was, I think I even did a video of it. And I think I pretty much said I did it. I put her on, just not her specifically, but I was watching it and I was like, it was calming my nerves somewhat. I can't take this apart. It was calming my nerves knowing I was going to chop these plants and the risk that I was going to be undertaking. But that was it. That was it. These are my TV. I don't have a TV in the house. My husband and I don't watch TV. And I pretty much watch all YouTube plant shows when I watch something. Sometimes I'll watch a movie or two on Netflix or Prime, but I have to really be invested in wanting to watch a movie where plants is really it for me. I enjoy it. I learn so much. I like interacting with the plant creator of that channel. I even like to read the comments. Just getting involved, and I love Instagram. I will say it can be addicting sometimes. I love watching people dance, and I love looking back in time on my childhood. So they say I'm a Gen Xer, and I love seeing old commercials that you no longer see. I haven't seen those since I was a kid, and they play those on Instagram, and it just makes my memory and my heart bubble. You know, it's just, I love it. Man, this perlite's dirty. Okay, I don't need, right now, I'm not going to put any big clumps in because I don't know what I'm doing after this. I'm just going to put a lot of the small clumps and my charcoal. But yeah, I love to watch people dance, especially to the 80s and the 70s. I like skating. I like to watch people skate. It reminds me when I used to do that. Could do that. And I liked watching the old commercials and hearing some of the history things, but that's pretty much all I do on Instagram. I follow a lot of planty channels, and a lot of people who are on Instagram don't have a YouTube channel, I don't think. At least I haven't seen any. I haven't seen some of them. Except three of them, Fern and Melissa and Jake. I know they are, but yeah. So that's about it. These things are huge. These charcoal bits. I mean, they're fine if you're going to put them at the bottom of the plant where the roots are, but not at the top. And if it's a big plant, that's fine, but Instagram is really a lot easier than YouTube when it comes to making shorts versus a reel, or shorts versus a story on Instagram. Instagram just has a better software to make that instead of YouTube. They're trying to get better. YouTube shorts have gotten better a lot better since I started making them. But it still has a way to go before it can meet or even compare to Instagram software, in my opinion. And I don't even know Instagram software very well. They have so many things. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to make this stuff. I'm just trying to share my stuff, trying to get some people to my channel. I don't know all of that stuff. And that's why there's a lot of people in business that will do that for you, but nope. It's just a hobby. I enjoy it. Oh, I'm almost done with this. No, I still got enough. I've got another box of this size sitting in the, sorry, you guys haven't been able to see me. It's just looking at me. I was like, why is it up? I can see more things this way, but can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. I can change that. Oh, I can reach. All right, I gotta get up. All right, I don't think it worked. Oh boy. It's hard to do this far away, and it's hard to do it with gloves on. I'm tempted sometimes to make this ahead of time in a huge box like this bin, but I don't. Sorry, stuff's making me choke. And I don't for two reasons. One, I don't know how long it's going to be till I use it. It's not something that I just get out and use every time I water. I mean, the one was sitting in there since the last time I did anything, which maybe it's been 4 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks, I don't remember. But that's one reason, and another reason is because condensation gets in there. And I don't want to risk getting any bugs. And bugs will get in wet dirt. We know that. So even if I have it locked up and in a case, I still think they can find themselves in there. Little guys can get into anything. All right, I think this is good. So let's finish this one up. It's nice and light. I love this mix. I love it so much. I'm so glad I ended up changing it. So I want to fill this in here, separate these guys somewhat. It's a real thing, guys, when you see plant creators mixing their mix up and they're dealing with the dust of tree fern fiber and perlite. Wow. It just gets in there and makes you want to choke. Yeah, this will be better. I really didn't think that these little children, Delicacia monsteras, would still be around. When I cut them off the mother plant, when I brought her home, I threw them in water and they just took off. And then I decided to plant them all up together and they really took off. And now here we are. I didn't expect it to become an actual plant, but it has. It has. And she, I think, is done. I don't think I really need to do too much more around this top part. I'm anxious to see what her leaf is going to be when it comes out. If it's anything like the mother, it'll be gorgeous. Don't do it, guys. Don't chop your Monstera. I mean, if you have to, you have to. I didn't have to. I had plenty of time left until it got way too big. But even then, why do I care? Well, I cared. I cared because I picked it up. It was in this pot. It was in an 11-inch. This is a 10-inch. It was in an 11-inch. And I picked it up. It was heavy. It's hard to take and carry around the house. You can put it in a shower, but it's clunky. It's very difficult to get it down the hall and into your bathtub. It's easier putting it out on your deck and then hosing it off. But yeah, like I said earlier, I don't have the strength. So that's why I didn't, back then I didn't hurt like I did so much now, that's for sure. But yeah, if you don't have to, I'd say don't. Really, I wouldn't. Just know that there's a real big probability of losing her. Make sure you save one, like I did here, so you have one to fall back on. She might be okay. Speaking of which, she might be okay. She might be able to get this little leaf out. I know she aborted her a long time ago after I did what I did. And I don't know if she'll ever have leaves again or not, but she does have grow, what do you call them? Growing points, because that's what this is. I saw before, when I chopped the other two leaves, I made sure I saw grow points on her, and they're coming out. So the question is do I want to pot her up? Is it too soon? I don't know. She's got to be in something big. This is an 8-inch pot, and she's going to grow and take off quick. I believe that based off the size these are going to be. They're going to be shooting out here now. But I don't know if I want to do it just yet. I want to give these guys more time to grow and water. They really like water, fertilizer, and so what I've been doing is water and myco, then for 5 days, water mixed with fertilizer for 5 days, then water, myco, water, fertilizer, and I do it on and off, and it's really, really, really helpful. All right, so next is our black velvet. Do I have any more pots that I mean, not pots, but I have so much stuff in here. Yeah, I have this one. Yeah, I don't, so like I don't think I finished my train of thought with this one. So I bought at a canopy plant company, and I think I bought it, the same day I bought the fry deck that I showed you. And at least the fry deck's done something, guys. This is ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to keep it, but it's a beautiful plant, and I love the black velvet, but I want more. I don't want just one leaf, and I don't know. I know they're slow growers, but I know a lot of people don't have that problem. Okay, so look at this. We got some beautiful roots. I smell very moist mollies. Well, we got a lot of, well, not a lot. Yeah, so I used to use mollies, and I'm starting to smell it. I think it's the cocoa, what's it called? Cocoa peat or something like that. Yeah, this is a huge corm. I may just keep that bad boy. This one's not really ready, but what did I do with the rotten stuff? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not reusing mollies, so we do have some rotten roots. I believe we have some rotten roots in here. Yeah. Is the whole thing rotten? That's the question, because now that I'm getting deeper, that would explain why she's not doing anything, guys. I think they're all, I can't even tell, really, to be perfectly honest with you. So this is what we got going. So we got corm. We got a corm. I don't know if they're going to be even worth anything. This one is nice and healthy. And this one here is nice and healthy, I think. This one's growing a corm. This one's growing a corm. I just think that it was this pot. She sat in this wet. I did water it. That's true. I watered it last night. So I wanted to water it because I heard that if it's wet and you repot them, that's not such a shock on them. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. So here's what, I don't think it's rot. I do see a few rotten ones, which I'm going to go ahead and, I just think that, I mean, if you're growing corms, you're a healthy plant in my book. This one's a very white one. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep this corm. Where'd it go? I don't know if these are going to be healthy corms, though. I'm going to chop this off here. I think I'm going to chop off a lot of this, except for the real pretty white one. Yeah, this is definitely rot right here. But I can't tell. What I can't tell is if the stem has rot. Yeah, Glad I looked. But I don't know, like I say, I think what I'm going to do is rinse it off and have a look. Let's cut the corms off. Yeah, let's have a look. I gotta get up. All right, so this is what it looks like. This is the stem right here before I wash it. This is the healthy root right here. It looks like the top part is healthy, but the bottom part's not healthy. All right, come back this way. Come back this way. Follow the plant. Follow the plant. Okay. Well, I'm definitely glad I looked. I knew I've been wanting to do this for a while. And I've been putting it off. Note to self, don't put things off. Yeah, I think she's fine. These are beautiful. It looks beautiful to me. I don't see any rot in her stem. Just cleaning off some of the stuff. That's good enough. So this is what we have. So her stem looks pretty. Her roots are pretty. Maybe she has a chance to grow. I think I'll take this off. And we're going to pot her up in a smaller pot than a 6-inch, which is what I got, thinking that, so she was in a 5-inch in the naked root pot. So, yeah. All right, we'll be back. Okay, let's see if the gimbal lasts very long. I had it centered on the plant. Let's see. So I've decided to, since it's going into a 4-inch pot, at least for a while, these are what I bought for my seedlings. This is my goal for all my pots, but it won't be able to be that many vents. But I want her in a vent, an air. I just feel like that's why we have such pretty roots. And she didn't die, and that's because of all the air that the naked root pot gives her. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to put her in that and see how she does. So I'm going to, I have I forgot that I still had, this isn't perlite. This is the opposite. What's that called? Oh, I can't think of it. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use it. Because I need to get rid of it. I want, might as well put some of these bigger perlites in here, the bottom. And if she does well, which is what I'm hoping, then we can up-pot her in a few months. She's got a nice long root here. And whatever she was going to put out there, I don't know if it was a flower or if it was a leaf. I don't know. I don't know when that'll happen. I will say this plant here has been through a ringer. If you've seen any of my old videos where I was just petrified she was going to die. I was so new. It was funny. She's still here. I just would like to see her grow, do something. That would be nice. I'm just arranging the roots since I can, which is most of the times you can't really do that well. It makes it easy with a small plant. Yeah, I think the air in these pots are so important for these plants. I'm going to actually do maybe a little video on that when I don't know if I'm going to do the soldering on a single video alone or maybe potting something up. But I plan on talking a little bit about why I think these are so important. Okay. There she is. I wouldn't have thought she would have ended up in a 4-inch pot. I would have thought at least 6-inch, but she's going to sit here. I bought these for the seedlings so I can keep water kind of like a reservoir in it. I don't know if I'll do that with her or not. We'll just see, but for now, when my other seedling comes, this will be taken away from her. So, but yeah, so that's that. And honestly, I don't want to deal. I'll have to edit that out. Sneeze. I don't know if these corms are going to be good. This one's really big. But it's so black. I don't know if is it rotted? I don't think so. I know I've seen Melissa squeeze them before. I don't think I have the strength to squeeze them. To scrape that stuff off. I've had some success with my corms. I've got really pretty silver dragon scales, and I have pretty caprias, and so they're doing well. But I don't know, this black velvet. I tried a couple corms from her before, and they didn't make it. But I may just put I hear my dogs coming. It's about that time. They think it's about that time. F-O-O-D, but I'm not going to say it out loud. You don't know what I'm talking about, Butch. Hi. What's going on, Butch? Mommy made a mess over here. You don't see his head. He's sniffing the camera now. He's sniffing you. Mommy made a mess, so you guys can't come over here with chalky stuff, okay? I know you don't have to scrape this off. I think someone said that it just grows back, but I don't know that for sure. But it looks healthy. So I'm going to keep these, and we're going to give it a try. Yeah. Oh. What's going on, guys? Did you smell the perlite stink? You guys can't smell that. Well, they may be able to smell that. Now this one's really wet. I don't know. Maybe that's okay. Doesn't look rotted or anything. The dogs are gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna mess too much with this. Yeah. So I'm gonna go get my little seedling tray and be back. too small, I think. Pumice. That's what it was, pumice. I think I heard Benji Plant Channel. I think Benji said it. He said he uses pumice because it doesn't float to the surface like perlite. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I've decided I'm not going to deal with 4 2-inch or 1-inch pots. I'm going to put them in one of my 4-inch air net pots. What I wish I had thought of is wetting down the moss ahead of time. I don't want to sacrifice real estate, you know. These 2 seedlings I have, they're fairly big, and when I get my next one, I want to be able to put them together. But if I have to, I mean, I can bring out the other case that I have. Okay, that should be enough. I'm going to go wet this, and then we'll see. Should be plenty. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything more today. I really need to get to these up pots, our 10-inch pots, I don't think it'll be that bad. But what I'm thinking is I may be putting a big moss pole on all of these 3 Anthuriums, and I'm just not. I'm not there. I don't feel up to it today. If it was just a repot, maybe, but I've been really considering putting a moss pole on the queen and the hybrids that I have. This is Queen Zamora and the Queen Andean. But honestly, I don't know if that's too much moss. I don't know if I will, because I don't know if I'm going to keep the Andean plant or the Zamora, to be honest. They look too much alike. They're easy, but they aren't real attractive in my mind. I don't think that the leaves are that pretty. The Zamora is prettier than the Andean, I think, but I don't know if I'm going to invest myself in them in the future. Let's just say that. Okay, I think that's too much. Problem with me doing corms is how long it takes. I don't know how Melissa can make hers grow so fast. It's magical. I mean, she'll have these things grown within a month, probably. I mean, and I literally have to spend months just to get them to do anything. But maybe I'll have luck this time since I have more knowledge than I did before. How about that? Yeah, I think that's good. So there they are. We've got 4 of them. So I'm going to take off my gloves now, I think. Do I need add moss anywhere? Thinking, do I need any refills anywhere? I may. It's hard to tell. No, I don't think so. I think my queen's fine. Well, she could use a little more in there. Oh, it's a good way of breaking myself and the plant. Not smart. So this is my Warocqueanum, and this here is the new leaf that you saw as a baby in my prior videos. And she is almost perfect, guys, almost perfect. We have a little bit here. Oh, let me fix my phone. There. So this is the leaf. There's just a little bit of a cut there and a little bit of a cut there. That's it. Perfection. If I've ever seen it. And what's really impressive is this is the oldest leaf grown under my care. All of these leaves have been grown under my care. But that leaf has no yellow spots, guys. How's that possible? It has some in the back, and it's going to start. I even broke its limb when it first came out, but I was able to fix it. But that one, and then that one, which has seen better days, and then that one is the latest, and then now this baby. So yeah, I'm real happy with her. Okay, I think that's going to be it for me, guys. I forgot to show you the end result. So I put my corms inside of my case with my 2 seedlings that I have left. So wish me luck. I'm worn down. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, throw in a hamburger emoji. I don't know why, I just chose it. Put a hamburger in there if you have one. If you don't put one in there, it's close. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope that you are enjoying your plants and enjoy life, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.